The Neptune in it and Pisces represented to me, apart from the feet and the possible stomach issues, is somebody that likes to drink, even an alcoholic or a drug addiction. Heroin actually is represented very specifically by Pisces. I don't know what the drug situation is there, but that is a possibility as well. We're looking at somebody who can generally get pretty angry, go from 0 to 100 very quickly. Someone that has some sort of markings or something going on with the middle of their face, so maybe a bigger nose or something going on with the nose, or a scar or a mole or something around the middle of the face. This is 3:45. This is when I believe that something happened. Mars is retrograde in Gemini. So it's like we've got somebody that's actually quite an intelligent person, had a plan, had a weapon, possibly had 2 weapons. There may have been 2 knives. So I believe that he was in the house at that time, 3:45. Aries and Mars also represents a bloody big knife and stabbing. So looking at those charts, albeit briefly, we've got a lot of Pisces and Aries and Mars. So if we're going to do a profile of a person with those signs in particular, we've got somebody that has possibly, like I said, something going on with their feet, a foot shuffler, someone who walks differently, possible surgeries in the feet, even big feet, something like that. You know, there's something going on with the feet. Smaller teeth, that's something that Pisces represents. You can tell a Pisces a mile away or a Pisces rising when they have really quite small teeth. Then when we look at Aries and then the Mars in Gemini, like I said, we've got someone that's a bit of a lone wolf, somebody that's pretty angry or can get angry, like I said, from 0 to 100 in the flip of a switch, and somebody who enjoys antagonizing other people as well. With Aries, the head is the rulership in terms of astrology. Aries is the head, so there's definitely, I feel, something going on with the head. I think the person that did this probably had some type of wound or maybe a cut, possibly a cut themselves, or a defense wound on their head or face, or around here, around the middle of their face. Like I said as well, though, there could be a mole, it could be just a distinctive nose. There's somebody that's got pretty long arms and long gangly arms, a thinner person. Yeah, somebody that just may not be pleasant to be around all the time. Vomiting. So we've got Pisces and Jupiter and everything, which is the guts. But then Aries, which is adrenaline. When you do something like stabbing 4 people to death, the adrenaline would be absolutely heightened, which could then make someone vomit. I'd be interested to know if there was a pile of vomit around the house. There'd be DNA there, that's for sure. Pisces and then the Jupiter represents somebody that is a hunter. So as we've all thought that anyway, that is in the chart as well. Somebody that's previously hunted or hunted all of their lives. So I actually believe that this weapon was something that they owned and had owned for a long time, if it's not 2 weapons, like I said. And just from looking at all of the charts, even though there's so many and it's really hard to gauge, I really feel as though this person has attended both places, the corner bar, the grub truck, the fraternity party. They've been around. So I believe that's who we're looking for. My feeling from looking at the chart and also just my own intuition tells me that he's actually taken the weapon back home and wants to keep it. So just a quick summarisation on Pisces and Aries being so prominent in all of the charts on the descendant, which is the perpetrator. We're reiterating and putting together those things, the description of a person, and that person, in my perspective, is impulsive, a loner, definitely a hunter, has some sort of something around the nose or cheeks area, a mole or disfiguration or scar, and then there's the pretty distinctive sort of the feet, like a different walk, a shuffle, or literally operations or surgeries on the feet. Somebody that's got long, sort of thin arms, a dexterous person, somebody that can work with their hands, mechanical sort of aptitude. Yeah, there's some distinctiveness. That he's intelligent, has been to university, didn't think he was good enough. All the traits of a psychopath, we can go on for hours about that stuff. And somebody that likely runs on adrenaline, moves fast, constantly on the go, impulsive, impetuous, all those sorts of things. But then depressed as well. The person that doesn't really talk, but when they talk, they go off and they start, carrying on, that type of person. I can see him in my head, actually. You've got to put some Gemini factors in there as well. So there's two sides of this person. And, some people might say, oh, I'm so surprised that it was actually him. But then a lot of people will figure out and get pretty quickly that, it's obvious that it was this person. There's also a possibility that the person might have a speech impediment. This is the last phone call time from the girls. So here we have 6 of Aries, and the ruler of that is Mars, which is 24 degrees of Gemini. So we're going to have a look at 6 Aries and 24 of Gemini on the list. 6 degrees of Aries is the orbital cavity, or the eye socket. Has someone got a black eye? The nasal bone. Fallopian tubes, if it's a lady. Rheumatism. The left foot's come into it a bit. Tuberculosis, that's pretty old-fashioned. Doubt that's the case. Something going on with his toes. Funky feet, or a drug addiction. Heroin actually is represented very specifically by Pisces.